Welcome to the Magnetic Resonance Research Center at the University of Notre Dame. I am Evgenii Kovrigin, your NMR director, and this video is intended for all new users of NMR and EPR instruments. Here, I will cover CrossLab, an online system developed by Agilent and adopted by Notre Dame for all instrument centers on campus. I will walk you through a standard procedure of booking instrument time in iLab and using Kiosk to start and end your instrument session. For any manual instrument, you must reserve NMR time in iLab in advance. Doing it the first time, I suggest you to review NMR usage rules tutorial and then read through current NMR booking rules. For that, you navigate to nmr.nd.edu, click Time Booking, click MRRC Usage Policies and Reservation Rules. To actually book NMR time, you will click on Book Instrument Time through iLab in a sidebar or on the page. iLab requires me to log in. Now I will click Schedule Equipment, click the instrument I want, and click the instrument schedule that I need. To book time, I just click and drag with the mouse. Click Next and arrive at the reservation screen. Here you want to confirm that you are on a wanted instrument and a correct schedule. You are also reminded here of limitations of this schedule. When you scroll down, you see the time interval that you selected. If you want to adjust it, click the pencil and change time and date as needed. You have to click Save for iLab to accept your changes. Next, you keep scrolling to Payment Information. Click arrows and select a correct account for the NMR charges. This is it. All what is left is to click Save Reservation. I booked NMR time on Stepan 400 on August 10 from 10 to 10:25. Please note that the NMR schedules are on 24-hour clock. If I need to modify my reservation, I will hover the mouse over it until new buttons pop up, a pencil and a box. I click the box and my reservation is displayed. I scroll to Times section, click Pencil and adjust time as needed. To finish, I hit Save button in the Times section and then I click Save Reservation button. My reservation now updates to a new duration. What if I realize that I do not need this reservation? I will again open the reservation for editing and then click Delete Reservation button. Click OK in the confirmation window and my reservation is removed. Once you booked your iLab reservation, you can now make your NMR sample and head to the NMR room when the time comes. The first thing you do before starting your NMR session is to activate a kiosk. The kiosk is the iLab tool to track time that you used on the NMR machine. In the NMR room, I point my phone at the QR code on the wall. Tap the address pop-up, and that takes us to the iLab kiosk. First, iLab greets me with a login screen where I need to enter whatever credentials iLab needs and go through a two-factor authentication. Finally, the kiosk screen is displayed. To start kiosk, I tap the Start button. You may stop it if you end your work early. Just tap the Finish button. It will also automatically stop when your time reservation ends. Please remember, you can only use the instrument while your kiosk is running. Working on a manual NMR instrument without a kiosk is a violation of the NMR usage rules. We recommend that you come to NMR room slightly before time. If the instrument is currently free, you may activate kiosk up to 8 minutes before the start of your reservation and begin using your instrument. If you are late, We allow you to activate Kiosk up to 8 minutes after your time has begun. This is a courtesy to cover unexpected delays and emergencies you may have with your samples. A handy tip: you do not need to arrive to an NMR room to start Kiosk. You may start it from iLab screen from your computer in a lab to avoid missing your start time. If you don't start your Kiosk and the 8 minutes has passed, your reservation expires and you cannot start Kiosk anymore. This means that your reservation has been labeled no-show, charged to your lab for the full time period, and also deleted from the schedule since you did not show up in the iLab system. From this moment on, anyone can book an NMR time and come to the room to use the instrument. You will have to give up your instrument to them in this situation, because they have the reservation on a schedule and you do not. To avoid such a crisis, as soon as you see your Kiosk not active, you must log into iLab again, create a new reservation, and start it in Kiosk as soon as possible. You also want to email us, so we delete the no-show record from the schedule and avoid double billing for your NMR time. When you are in the middle of your NMR measurements, you may realize that you need more experiments on this sample. You are aware of the time limit on the schedule and likely you already booked the maximum time slot. But what if the instrument has not been booked by anyone after your expected end of the NMR session? We allow you to extend your time while you are at a spectrometer. If the NMR schedule remains free after your reservation, Kiosk will be showing the Extend button. We require that you use this button to extend your session only when you are in the last 15 minutes of your reservation. In other words, extending right after you started your Kiosk is not permitted, but extending when your session has less than 15 minutes to go is fine. Once you click Extend, it offers you a choice of extension periods. Great convenience of Kiosk extension is that you do not have to look in the iLab schedule to check if someone booked right after you or not. Kiosk knows about all current reservations and will offer you only as much time as is available. If there is another reservation sometime later, the Extend will only offer you extension up to that point. In other words, if you reach the end of your time and the Kiosk still shows the Extend button, it is fine to click it. You may do it again once you reach the new end of your time period. Just remember the rule that you must be within last 15 minutes of your time to use the Extend button. When you are about to finish, with very little time left before the end of your reservation, you don't need to do anything with Kiosk. Just complete your NMR protocol and leave the room. Kiosk will automatically stop at your reservation end time. If you realize that you are finishing early, you may tap the Finish button and explicitly stop your Kiosk. This action adjusts your reservation on the iLab schedule to end right at this time and frees the schedule for other users. The NMR charge for your lab will also be smaller because it will only cover the portion of your reservation that you actually used. I suggest you tap Finish button at all times as a courtesy to other NMR users. The more time we leave on our iLab schedules, the more useful work your fellow NMR users could do. What if you are struggling to finish on time for any legitimate reason? The next person is already here. Your time is up, but your experiment didn't finish yet. Our rule for you is that you must stop your experiment and hand over the instrument to the next user on time. You cannot use the time slot of another user to finish your data collection. You will have to do another NMR session to properly collect your data. In this situation of a quick handover of the instrument, to speed up the sample change, you do not have to reinsert the standard since the next user already arrived. Just ask them to put in their sample into the changer and insert that position into the magnet. Your sample will return to the changer for you to pick up, and the next person will be able to start quicker. They will appreciate that you did not make them wait and did not delay their work.